Sorry about that. I apologize. My daughter called my phone. So anyways, like I was saying, like I don't condone domestic violence whatsoever. I don't think that it's cool. I don't think that it's right. I've been in that situation myself way back in my past when I was married to my first husband. And I don't condone it. I don't condone it one bit. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with men putting their hands on women, and I don't agree with women putting their hands on men. I don't. But at the same time, when it comes to this situation, I I want to feel bad for her. I empathize for her, I guess you could say, but I don't feel awful for Miss L, and I feel like a bad person for saying that. But the reason why, hey, what's up, LA? But the reason why I'm saying that is because when Tiffany was murdered, okay, Tiffany was a victim of domestic violence, and Tiffany was murdered. She doesn't get to open up her eyes. She doesn't get to sit and cry on YouTube about a man that put his hands on her. She doesn't get to call into work because she's got bruises and can't face society. She doesn't get to do any of that. Hey, Phoenix, she doesn't get to do any of that. She's dead as a result of domestic violence. And what did Elle do? Seriously, what did Miss L do? She got on panels. She talked shit about Tiffany. She put up memes, awful, horrible memes of Tiffany. Talked all this shit. Exactly, Phoenix. Tiffany doesn't get to tell her story. Tiffany doesn't get to sit and cry and get sympathy from anybody. So I can't feel bad for this woman who talked so much shit. Like, how could you possibly say what you said about Tiffany? And for 6 years, you've been getting your ass beat. 6 years you've been getting your ass beat. And then I got to think, like, why? Why did you put up with it for 6 years? I don't know. Like I said, I empathize for the situation. I've been there myself. But did I stay in that situation for 6 fucking years? Hell no. Hell no. Would I have stayed in that situation for 6 years? Fuck no. Fuck no. But I just can't feel bad for somebody who now wants to cam up and show this man's face and put out his mugshot and say his real name and do all this shit now. Now you want to do all this dirt to the man, right? Now you want to. But again, when Tiffany was murdered, you had nothing to say but sick, disgusting fucking jokes. And then you had the nerve to say, that when you were on the ground and he was strangling you, there was a speaker by your head. At least he didn't pick up that speaker. I don't want to say it's karma because that's awful. That's awful to say that someone got their karma by getting their ass beat. But you've been putting up with it for 6 fucking years. And you're lucky you got out alive. You're very lucky you got out alive. But some women are not fortunate enough to get out of it alive. So the next time that a female is murdered behind domestic violence, maybe you should check your situation. And maybe you should check yourself before you open up your mouth and you talk shit on that person. Because that's what you did. You jumped on the talk shit about Tiffany bandwagon. And now you want everybody to feel sorry for you because you're coming out and telling your truth. I just can't. I'm sorry. Like, I listened to the audio of Section 8, and yeah, he was fucking weird. He was a fucking creep, but he was a fucking creep this entire time. And yeah, I watched your live and I saw you cry and I heard you tell your story. And like I said, I am conflicted as well, Phoenix, because like I'm a survivor as well of domestic violence with my first husband, but I can't empathize for someone who literally was getting her ass beat for 6 fucking years, but yet was making fun of a woman who was murdered because of domestic violence. Because everything that you've said about Tiffany just floods back into my brain. And I'm like, yeah, I totally can't. I can't go there. I just can't. All the fucking jokes, all the fucking memes. And now I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. I just fucking can't. I sympathize for the situation, but I don't feel sorry for you. Do I have money to donate if I wanted to? Fuck yeah. But I can't. And I won't. So I don't know. I guess the moral of everything is like, sometimes you should check your own life and check your own situation and check your own relationship before you want to talk shit about a female that was fucking murdered in front of her daughter, in front of her 15-year-old baby. Because you thought that shit was funny. You thought that shit was hilarious. You had all kinds of jokes about it. You had all kinds of fucking memes to post about it. And the whole time you were getting your ass beat. Just be grateful you get to open your fucking eyes. Be grateful that you get to call into work because you have bruises. Be grateful that your bruises will fucking heal. Because it could have been a lot worse. You could have been the next one of the sector. I don't know. It's been fucking with me all day. Like all day, I kept thinking to myself, like, do I say something? Do I not say something? Like, and then I just was like, fuck it. I'm gonna say something because I just can't. I can't get on the poor Miss L bandwagon. I just can't. You tolerated that man for 6 fucking years. You put up with it for 6 fucking years. And then when my best friend was murdered in a domestic violence situation, you fucking made fun of it. And then had the nerve to compare yourself and your situation to her. And you think you're safe by a fucking restraining order? Let me tell you something. Restraining orders don't do shit, okay? They're a piece of fucking paper. Restraining orders won't save your ass, won't protect your ass. I had a restraining order against my ex-husband. It's all public record. You can look up every domestic violence situation between me and my ex-husband. It's all public record in the courts. And when he found me, because I did move, I took my kids and I did move, and I moved far away from him. And when he found out where I lived, because my family and I tried to do the smart thing, I gave my car to my grandmother, and my grandmother gave me her car. We traded cars just so I could be able to park safely in my new apartment with my kids and not have to worry about him finding me. Well, he figured it out. He figured it out. So when he figured out where I lived and he started blowing up my cell phone, telling me, "Bitch, I know where you are. I'm standing outside your apartment. I want to see my kids, blah, 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 blah." And I called the police because he was violating that restraining order. When the police pulled up, that motherfucker said, "I'm 150 feet away from her. What are you going to do about it?" And the police couldn't do shit. So if you think because you got a restraining order, you're safe, you're not. You're not safe. That was all in my early 20s. You know, my ex husband, he's on a different level of life now. He's still an asshole, but we don't communicate. We don't talk to each other at all. Our kids are grown. We have nothing to say to each other. But I can't get on the Miss L bandwagon. I just can't do it. And I'm sorry that you experienced a situation like that. I'm sorry that you allowed yourself to live in a situation like that. because you needed help paying your rent. Well, what were you doing before you moved this motherfucker in? How are you paying your rent now? Or how are you paying your rent then? You didn't need his help back then, so what made you need his help now? So I don't know. I think it's fucked up. I think domestic violence in general is fucked up. But if you're going through that situation yourself, if you're going through that situation yourself, you damn sure can't come on public platforms and make fun of a woman that was murdered because of the same situation you were in. Kat, is there any advice that you would give Miss L, some advice that you gave Tiffany or would have given Tiffany? Let me tell you, Tiffany and I think one of the most wonderful things about me and Tiffany was we had such different taste in men. Like my husband, she thought was like the most hideous person on the planet. And some of the guys that she's dated in the past, I thought the same thing about them. Our taste in men was so different. But the biggest thing I always told Tiffany, the biggest thing was she was worth so much more than what she put up with in her life. I used to tell her that all the time. You are worth so much more. And you are so smart. And you are so beautiful. And you're so incredible. And you're the best human that I know. Don't sell yourself short.